Hello, I want to welcome each and every of you to the maiden edition of Team's Reality TV show. I am your host, Pastor Udo. Our vision is to create a new brand of teenagers who can get to understand who they are, who they were created to be by God, and helping them navigate this life easily by His help. It is so important. Hello. I want to welcome each and every one of you to another brand new, exciting episode of Teens Reality. I am your lovely host, Pastor Udo Omobi, and it is such a joy to tune in each time and host the show and have teenagers, adults, parents, whoever it is that clicks on to watch, be blessed, be informed, be enlightened by what we discuss here on this show. Now, for the past I think it's been almost 6 weeks or more. We've been discussing current issues that teenagers face on a daily basis and need to be addressed. These are real issues that are going on in our world today. And I realize that a lot of people, having listened to the show and followed it, have a lot of questions. So many of them have responded to us, using our contact information, that is +234 803 9292708, or they have sent an email to teensreality@lifechangers.org. So we've been able to compile just a few of these questions, not a whole lot of them, but I feel like having handpicked some of them, they're going to be able to answer some other questions that people do have. All right, thank you. All right, so today we're going to be taking our time to address some of those questions we've been able to compile. The general idea is having handpicked some of those questions. It will not just answer those who have sent in the specific questions, it will also give an idea to those whose own questions fall under the same category. So you might not hear your own question in particular being read, but don't be offended or worried about it. The questions we have picked are certain to give you a perspective and a clear understanding of how to deal with your own issue or what it is that you are facing. Alright, we're going to be going up right now with the very first question, and I want to listen closely to the question and listen to the insights we're going to be giving to what this person who has given it to us. It says, I am so into games for real, but right now it's getting kind of suspicious with these weirdos trying to scam me while playing too. Do I really gotta quit gaming altogether because of that? Alright, I'm assuming this person probably watched what has been going on with those who have been playing games such like Minecraft, Roblox, you understand, Fortnite and such. And no, we've taken our time to even display some videos where teenagers, even those younger than 13, we actually saw one where a 12-year-old girl, her mother happened to stumble on her, chatting with somebody while playing the game, and had to call up her husband to come observe what was going on. Her husband took over, and now chatting with the person, discovered that it was not actually another kid his daughter had been playing with all this while. It was actually an older man who had taken on the identity of a young kid to lure their child in and just saying that, oh, we are just online partners. Because the game works. People come online and through the internet, the network, they play from different locations. So even though when you look at this as an advantage to the fact that, okay, I'm not necessarily with this person in the same country, in the same location at the same time, that we can bond, you also need to understand that predators, pedophiles, have taken advantage of the same loophole. So this person is asking now, it's kind of suspicious what some people are trying to do. That do you really need to quit gaming altogether? No, you may not need to quit gaming altogether, but you will now need to be more sensitive to whom you are accepting as partners while playing the game. Now, I want you to understand something, that they are not many times going to come out outright and tell you that, oh, I'm an older person trying to play with you. Many times, even the persona, the avatar doesn't display the real person. Some of them have learned how to speak down to kids. So you think you're chatting with someone who is on the same level as you are. So there are certain things you need to watch out for to avoid this kind of issues. Sometimes you might just want to stick to playing the game alone. If they try to engage you in personal conversations, quit it. Just cut it off and like, no, we're just here for the game. Some might try to be pushy and get all like, okay, I'm in this class, I'm in this grade, this is what I'm going through in school, and try to get you in on levels they feel you can respond to. Don't be drowning. Stick to the games and then step away when you're done. I'll also advise that you don't spend too long a time playing those games. Many times, the hours you spend on that game can make you become so obsessed. Yes, that's the word. Obsessed with it or addicted to it. Such that when you are not playing the game, there is such a deep hunger to go back to the game. As often as possible, try not to play it every single day of the week. You have school. Yes, you have school. You have to go to school. You have to do your classwork, your homework, projects, and what have you. Try to limit it to perhaps a few minutes or an hour at the most. Most times, predators target those who spend long hours. If you're someone who's been spending as much as 3-4 hours at a stretch without taking a break, they realize that you're someone who's getting much validation from being there. And they will look at you as someone who can be easily deceived. We also saw another video where there was someone who, thinking they were chatting with a friend, decided to now meet up for real, you understand, in person. And it turned out that it was not the real person. It was not the real person at all. One young boy, if I'm not mistaken, a 15-year-old boy, left his home, you understand, thinking he was going to meet up with someone of his own age grade, until now has not been found. So the most times they will go after those who spend unusually long periods of times on these platforms. So if you've been gaming for too long, it is time to reduce the hours you've been spending them and try to do it, spend it on something more productive. How do I mean productive? Read a book, engage with real friends, physical friends, hang out with your parents, discuss, watch an educational program just like this one, you understand, and just get to understand deeper things. For some of you who are even building a relationship with God, now is the time to spend actual time in His Word, studying what He has to say to you. But what I'm trying to say is, you may not need to quit the game, that's games that you play, but you must be more sensitive and alert to the dangers that are out there. That you have not, you understand, met someone who has tried to actively scam you does not mean it cannot happen. Anytime there is a proverb that says, he who wears the shoes knows where it pinches, it knows where it hurts the person. So it is only someone who has actually gone through that kind of experience that might be able to, okay, I'm going off games entirely, or I'm limiting my time. But for you who thinks that maybe no real danger has taken place, you might be unwilling to quit it altogether. All right, I'm so I've been able to answer that question clearly, and I want to assure you, your validation does not need to come from those games. I know some of you might be thinking, okay, I even want to go into programming and creating video games as I advance, so perhaps I'm learning a lot of things or observing how the setup of these games are. That is in itself a good intention, but understand that it is not only through those games that your desire to become a video programmer in the future depends on. It's not only from these games that you can learn. There are a lot of other helpful videos perhaps on YouTube, you understand, questions that you can ask of your parents, and you can be guided in a more into a way of getting it in a more wholesome manner. That's the word, in a more wholesome manner that doesn't expose you to danger and have you become so cautious 24/7 that you're unable to relax. I want you to enjoy your teenage years and be sure that yes, you are protected. All right, thank you. We're going on to the very next question now. It says, I don't know. I feel like online stalking is low-key overhyped. Never had some old rando catfish me as a teen, so why should I cut my screen time? All my besties live on socials, and if I log off, I'm literally gonna get left on red in real life. Wow. Okay, this same question, one of the reasons why I picked this question in particular is it was like a follow-up to the previous question asked. But now this person's own concern is that they spend a lot of time on social media because a lot of their friends spend that much time on social media. So having to not be the one left out. You want to be kept up to date with what is happening. And I've come to discover that a lot of things that teenagers discuss are not really like death and life issues per se. But at that age, they feel like death and life matters. So understand me. I get what you mean by like, okay, this is happening in my life literally right now. Maybe your crush in school suddenly responded to you and you don't know how to react. So the first thought is I need to reach out to my homies, my besties, and let them know what do I say, how do I respond, how do I sound cool, how do I don't come off sounding too clingy, overly emotional and stuff like that, like nobody has ever spoken to me before. It is okay to have this group of people that okay maybe you have as your inner circle. But what I'll advise you about this is discuss with them. Some of them might not have like watched the show or watched shows similar to this that have revealed the fact that there are real people who stalk teenagers online with the intention to deceive them, lure them out, and sometimes sexually assault them, attack them, kill them. Some have been molested, some have been beaten to death, some have been severely injured, thinking they were chatting with someone who was good and kind just like themselves. Some have even gotten to the point where they are being blackmailed actively now. Being actively blackmailed because by virtue of responding to other chats, because when you're always online now, I understand that you already know those who are your friends on social media. But there are others who can slip into your profile, study it, and create a persona that they feel you can relate with. Now, having observed you for a period of time, because you must understand that many of these pedophiles, they can be very patient. Very, very patient. They do their homework. It's just like someone who's trying to present a project, and maybe your teacher gives you a project in class and like, get ready to discuss this country in detail, one of their cultures, and you take out time, you actually research, you get ready, and when you come to the class, you're able to give like a 5 minutes, 10 minutes presentation. Some of them is not just 5 minutes they are going to use to spend on you. Some can spend as much as 3 months researching you. They will actually find out the school you go to. They will find out those other friends you have on social media, their likes, their dislikes, where you guys like to hang out, what kind of games you like to play, what kind of movies you like to watch, what kind of books you like to read. They will observe all this kind of intimate information about you, and then they will reach out. Now, when they reach out, they might not be very proactive. Gradually, because I'm aware that some of you, these crushes you might have, it might not even be someone you know in school. It might be someone that's just chatting you up online and telling you, okay, I like you, you've been nice, we've been talking for some time, and now I want us to get more serious. So, whichever the case may be, these predators, they take out time to discover who you are. So they know how to relate to you, they know how to get into your emotional space so that you feel that you're actually bonding with them. There are some of you who right now have best friends you have never met in real life. You've never met them, but you tell them everything about you, that they have become so much part of your emotional circle that whatever happens to you in school, you come back home and you report it to them. Sometimes that is happened to you in real time, they are being updated. So nothing is hidden from these people. Some might not strike until 1 year later. So some of you right now might have just been chatting with someone for a few weeks, for a few months, and it feels like, okay, nothing is really happening. No one has stalked me yet. And that's the operative word here, yet. That it hasn't happened does not mean it cannot happen. So what can be done? You can discuss with your friends that, okay, let's not try to put every single thing that we are doing amongst ourselves out there online. Let's reduce our activity. Let's reduce the screen time we have and spend more time hanging out in the physical. You guys can agree to meet up in one of your houses where a parent can actively supervise what is going on during the day. During the day, I'm not actually a great fan of sleepovers. We've heard creepy stories of people who went for sleepovers and let's just say that they never remained the same afterwards. A lot of things changed, a lot of things went down. So now what would I have you do? Discuss amongst yourselves when you go to school and say, okay, I'm thinking of cutting down my screen time, and this is why. Now you relate to them that, okay, you've been watching this show, Teens Reality, and this is what has been revealed to you. Suspicious people online, and you do not want to fall prey to them. So you are going to be coming out as someone who cares about yourself and about them too. You're pointing out the dangers that they can experience for themselves and telling them now actively, this is what we should do to ensure that we do not fall prey to such tactics. All right, before we continue right now, I want us to go on a short break, and when we return, we will continue. Remember, we still want to get much more of your questions. We're going to be taking out a few episodes to address those questions so that those who have been experiencing issues that they have not felt free to share with us can get real-time answers. The number to reach out to us is displayed on the screen. +2348139292708, or send an email to teensreality@lifechangerslaunch.org. Stay tuned, we'll be back shortly. Hello, I want to welcome each and every of you to the maiden edition of Teens Reality TV show. I am your host, Pastor Udo. Our vision is to create a new brand of teenagers who can get to understand who they are, who they were created to be by God, and helping them navigate this life easily by His help. It is so important. Alright, welcome back from that quick break. Thank you for staying tuned. We are still addressing questions that a lot of teenagers, we are keeping your identity anonymous, so we are not revealing names. We're just going straight into the questions and trusting that those who sent in the questions will tune in and get their answers clearly. So we are still on the question about spending a lot of time on social media because your friends are there and you don't want to feel like, okay, and the person that reads something and doesn't reply to them. My friends don't feel like, okay, I'm neglecting them, I'm cutting them off, I'm telling them that they don't matter. I can imagine how it feels like you send a message to someone and you know that the person has obviously read the message and there has been a sufficient amount of time for them to have responded and they don't respond. So I can imagine that you don't want to be that kind of person. So now, as I've said, you discuss with your friends and say, okay, let's come up with alternatives so we don't fall prey to those who might be lurking around on social media just waiting to attack us. Now, some of you are like beautiful young girls. Some of you like to take pictures when you go to the malls, you go out shopping together, and you're uploading these pictures on your Instagram, on your TikTok, and people are knowing what's happening to you. Some of you dance and literally wear skimpy clothes online. Let's be real. You show a lot of skin, and that can be a strong attracting signal to those who are looking for those they feel they can reach out to. So what I advise that right now on your social media, be careful about what you upload. Pictures, videos, giving real-time updates of your location. Sometimes when I even go as far as waiting to chat you up online, they can actually meet you physically at your location. And you will think that this is someone who is just meeting you for the first time. Meanwhile, they have observed you at a distance. Some might be waiting right there to kidnap you. I've also shown videos of those who were suddenly snatched. One of the last episodes talked about a young woman who said it was a neighbor who took her young daughter. I think this was a girl just less than 7 years old. Took her daughter and force-fed her cement. So that while he was sexually assaulting her, she was unable to cry out. The woman relates that when this neighbor was done, he washed her body, dumped it in a bucket, and dropped it, deposited a bucket right back at her doorstep. And this one she was like literally in tears. There are sick people out there who don't care. So you might want to have to avoid this kind of people for yourselves. Now that 7-year-old, she did absolutely nothing wrong. This was just someone who was sick in the head and needed treatment, who decided to attack her. But now you're in a position where you can expose sensitive information about yourself online. The question is, what will you do with that kind of privilege given to you? Will you put it all out there? Or will you be cautious? It's not every time people need to see what you're doing. Some of you wear this kind of like crop tops, so your midriff is showing. Some of you wear this kind of hot short shorts, extremely short shorts, and everything is out there. And some of these things are titillating or stimulating to these pedophiles. And I've taken out time to point out that pedophiles don't only need to be men, they can be women also. And they don't only need to be older people, they just need to be people who like to prey on the younger generation, younger kids who are not sexually mature to deal with this kind of attention. So you want to be careful about the information you're sharing out there. Number 2, be aware that people can pretend to be anything or anyone out there online. So videos and photos are not proof that people are who they claim to be. Images can be altered or stolen. In some cases, predators have even taken over the social media accounts of their victims. Are you aware that social media accounts can be hacked? So you truly think that you've been chatting with someone in your inner circle, but it's no longer that person. So when that person tells you to meet up or come to a particular location, you think it's normal. But now it's a predator who has taken over the account and done that to you. So you want to have to be careful. From time to time, try to ask questions that you know that friend of yours is the only person that can know the answer to. They are the only person that knows the answers to that kind of questions. Just ask it randomly. Don't prep them or let them know I'm about to ask you this question. So the person doesn't just like log off immediately. Now, if you ask that question and for some reason the person doesn't respond immediately or in a reasonable period of time, tag it as suspicious. That's what, tag it as suspicious and call it quits. Wait till you can meet that person, perhaps someone you know in school, like, okay, what happened? Chatted you up, ask you this question, there was no response. I'm like, oh, my account has been hacked. Let them know what is happening. So be aware of what can be happening. I want us now to move on to the third question. I believe the second question has been answered to a particular extent and more insight has been given. Now, number 3 says, my mom that asked didn't believe me when I said my older cousin touched me weird. He's the family's golden child. Good grades, no girlfriend, everyone loves him. Meanwhile, I'm the problem child with bad grades who hangs out with people my parents hate. So now it's his word versus mine, and I'm losing. What do I even do? I can imagine how she's feeling right now. Okay, so it turns out that you've been hanging out with bad friends. Your parents have spoken out about such situations and you've turned a deaf ear, and now something that you really need your intervention in has happened and they're not giving you a listening ear. Okay, I'm going to start off first with asking, how many times have you tried to bring up this issue with your parents, like that this has been happening? That's the one. Number 2, how many times has this older cousin actually tried to touch you that way, done weird things around you? Is it possible to record it? Is it possible to get physical evidence that can be used to prove that you're not just making up the stories? It might be that you've made up stories before or done things that have made your parents lose a lot of trust in you, so that they don't place much value on the words you give to them. You just feel like maybe you're looking for attention. But if, as you see, this is what is happening, it is very, very serious. And I don't want you to give up and say, okay, what's done is done. Many times they don't write bad on people's forehead to show that, yes, this person is a bad person in hiding or in the open. So looking at how you describe it, your older cousin, good grades, golden child, no girlfriend, it might be hard when you're not the one telling your parents that, okay, he's been touching you weird, and they're like, really? In their mind, they feel like he can do so much better. If he wanted a girlfriend, he could get a girlfriend, seeing as how maybe he has good grades and stuff like that. But now you know what you are dealing with, you know what you're facing. First and foremost, see how you can try to get physical evidence. It might be like maybe an audio recording of him having some kind of conversations with you that are weird. If possible, after the event happens, maybe try to like capture him or yourself. You're not being like particularly clear with how far he has gone. So I'm also trying to be like quite careful of what kind of evidence it is that you can get. I'm truly hoping he has not gone as far as actually raping you. That's what I'm hoping for and praying for. It might just be inappropriate touches for now. That is not supposed to happen. For crying out loud, he's your cousin. So that's incest, by the way. If you guys do get this evidence, please present it now to your parents or to your guardians. Number two, realizing now that what your parents have been saying to you about the kind of friends you have been keeping, being instrumental to the kind of trust they give to you, it might be time to consider what they're saying and ask your friend self, those friends I've been hanging out with, are they really people that I cannot live without? Number two, if I do say I must hang out with them, what effect have they been having on me? Could it be what's contributing to your bad grades? Could it be what's contributing to your bad image? So that when you speak, you're unlikely to be believed over the voice of your family's golden child, that's your older cousin. Many times people tend to believe what they can see. And when they have observed a pattern of behavior, if you described yourself as the problem child, I can imagine, just like the story that says, the story about the child who always cried wolf when he was told to watch a flock of sheep. So he did it on multiple occasions. The villagers ran out thinking something serious was going on. And every time they came, it turned out to be a false alarm. The day it actually happened, he went again and cried that, okay, the wolves were attacking the sheep. But now the villagers, having become used to his pattern of behavior, failed to respond, and he lost a lot of the sheep. So what do? It's time to change your behavior, your attitude. Have you been rude to your parents? Perhaps you've been skipping coffee, coming home when you feel like, thinking you're your only master. And that is so not right. You must understand that your parents care for you. So many times when they put these rules in place, it's because they want to save you from dangerous situations. Now, I can imagine that what is happening with your cousin is one of the situations they're trying to save you from. So they might think that what you're trying to even say may be something that has happened outside, but not with your cousin. So imagine. So if there are certain boundaries for you, if you're telling you cannot have this kind of friends over, you cannot go to this kind of places, you cannot be coming back home at this kind of time, you cannot be spending this kind of time online with people, and it's time to pay them a listening ear. Listen to them, discuss with them, and let them know, okay, you know you've not been doing things in the right way, but now you're being really serious. Because I do not want these inappropriate touches to continue. It is truly weird, it is not right, and it can begin to affect your psyche, your self-esteem. So do all these things, and I can assure you things will begin to get back on track, and you will not lose yourself in the process. Okay, so we're going to stop in here right now, and when we come back on the next episode, we will be taking on more questions. Remember, you can still send in your questions. We want to hear about you. Some of you can even tell us currently what is happening with you. Things that you feel you might not want to share with your family members or your teachers. Feel free to reach out to us using the number +234 813 909708. Send an email to teensreality@lifechangerstouch.org. Thank you for staying tuned. I remain your lovely host, Pastor Domobi. Till I come your way next time, stay blessed. Hello, I want to welcome each and every of you to the maiden edition of Teens Reality TV show. I am your host, Pastor Udo. Our vision is to create a new brand of teenagers